Hi there everyone, it's the Bossman here with another video, and this time it's all about shotguns. For years in video games and movies, shotguns have been the go-to monster destroying, zombie slaying weapons, and finally Siege has come to the party. Hopefully for good this time. If you've been playing since Year 8 Season 3 Operation Heavy Metal, that's the season RAM was released, you will remember that in the season we saw an update to shotguns that made them more consistent for most players at least. The change centered around the laser attachment that could reduce the spread of all normal pellet shotguns. The damage ranges were also updated, and finally we had a shotgun that in theory did more consistent damage to enemies. When Year 9 Season 1 Operation Deadly Omen was released, almost all of the attachments received updates and the laser sight was changed to reduce aim down sight time. This meant that our shotgun buff was now reverted to its former state. Well, all of that is about to change with the release of Operation Collision Point. In this video, we will look at all of the changes to pump action and semi-automatic shotguns. I will show you how most of them have updated damage values, and you won't believe it, but there is a new king of pump action shotguns. If you can guess, type it in the comments right now. But before we get into that, please remember to leave a like and remember to subscribe for more Rainbow Six Siege content. Let's get straight into it. Shotguns were buffed in Year 8 Season 3 Operation Heavy Metal that saw a change to the laser sight attachment, effectively reducing the spread of all shotguns and making them more consistent. Players were rewarded for aiming down sights when taking shots and punished for trying to hipfire enemies. The goal was to bring more consistency to the shotgun ecosystem. In my opinion, I feel like the changes were working as intended, and at least my SAS shotgun felt way more consistent at ranges up to 7 meters. For 2 full seasons, or at least 180 days, we all enjoyed the new revamped shotguns. But when Year 9 Season 1 Operation Deadly Omen was released, all of these careful, considered changes were reverted when ACOGs returned to attackers and Deimos was released. For the past 3 seasons, I've had very little confidence in my shotgun and have used the SMG11 on mute on most of my engagements, only relying on the shotgun when holding tight angles at short distances. We will start by reviewing the past and current season footage together, and you will be able to see exactly how your favorite shotgun used to perform and how it performs in the new season of Operation Collision Point. During my testing of the M590A1, that's the SAS shotgun that Mute, Smoke, Sledge and Deimos have, I noticed the following. By the way, all of the tests were performed in the same conditions of 7 meters away from the target, aiming at chest level, 10 shots in total. First up, I tested hipfire accuracy, damage and the number of pellets that hit. On the table on the right, you can see that the average damage across 10 shots was 65.7, with only 2 pellets hitting on average during Year 9 Season 3 Twin Shells. When compared to the new season of Operation Collision Point, you will notice that there is a significant difference. Damage is up by 21 points on average, and the number of pellet hits goes up by 30%. I know that sounds like too much, but that's still only 2.6 pellets hitting the target on average. When we compare the ADS statistics, we can see that the average damage also increases by just under 20 points, and the average pellet hits increases from 3.5 to 3.9. Less than 12% increase when compared to the hipfire statistics. 7 out of 10 shots will take out a 2 armor operator with a single shot at up to 7 meters. Coincidentally, the previous season of Twin Shells also has the 7 out of 10 kill shot ratio, but the average damage during Year 9 Season 4 Collision Point makes the shotgun, at least on paper, perform better than the previous season. The M870 is the shotgun that Bandit, Jaeger, Sentry and Thorn have access to. Even though it is not as effective as the SAS shotgun, its superior fire rate still makes it a valid option. During hipfire testing, the M870 had almost 18 points of extra damage and 0.4 additional pellet hits per shot fired over a distance of 7 meters. When testing the ADS changes, we see an increase in the damage per shot from 94.6 to 106, with the average pellet hits only increasing by 0.4. That 11-point damage increase will kill a 2 armor attacker 50% of the time over a distance no larger than 7 meters. Don't underestimate the M870, it's a beast of a gun. What I can tell you immediately, even before the testing, is that the SG CQB, that's the French shotgun that Doc, Rook, Twitch, Lion and Grim have, is not an accurate or consistent weapon when it comes to hipfire. It really does shine with impressive range and accuracy while ADS'd. The hipfire comparison only shows 3 points of damage increase from Twin Shells to Collision Point, so basically You still cannot hipfire an enemy, except if he's absolute one-shot as the COD players say. On the other hand, the ADS stats tell a different story. The average damage has now increased by 20 points from 127 to 147. Average pellet hits has also increased from 4.2 to 4.9. The SGCQB will kill a 3 armor operator within a 7 meter range 70% of the time. That means it is a great weapon on both attack and defense. While the Supernova is an even worse performing hipfire shotgun when compared to the French shotgun, the SGCQB. With the new season buff, the Supernova average damage per shot increases from 23.4 up to 29. That's just over 6 points of damage and 0.1 additional pellet hits. Only hipfire while making rotates, never at enemies. When testing the ADS damage changes, I was shocked at the following numbers. It seems that the devs have either forgotten to buff the spread of the Supernova or it has purposefully been nerfed. It's also possible that my testing method is flawed and I need to do a comparison of more shots fired. It's also possible that I had more lucky pellet hits to the head during the testing on the Twin Shells footage, but let's talk about the numbers that I have. Compared to the Twin Shell season, the Supernova now does 16 points less damage while ADS'd at a target at 7 meters. It also has 0.7 less pellet hits on average for every shot fired. I can't help but to think that the Supernova might have done too much damage during Operation Twin Shells, and now it has just been brought back in line with the big dog counterpart, the SGCQB. Let me show you what I mean. As previously shown in the video, the French shotgun, the SGCQB, now does 146.5 damage with 4.9 pellet hits on average per shot at a target at 7 meters. The Supernova, now with the nerf if you want to call it that, still does 162 damage and 4.6 pellet hits on average per shot at a target at the same distance. In other words, during Operation Twin Shells and now with Operation Collision Point, if you shoot a full health 3 armor operator within 7 meter range, you will have a 90% chance of killing that player with a single shot. But there is another shotgun that has gone mostly unnoticed, and I believe it has the potential to be the best and most consistent shotgun in the game, and I know that you won't be able to guess. Unbelievably, the ITA-12 shotgun that is carried by Mira, Jackal and Solace now seems to be a real contender for the number 1 spot. Compared to the previous season of Twin Shells, the ITA-12 has received an 80% buff in its average damage over a distance of 7 meters. That means on average that you will be doing over 70 points of extra damage with an incredible 2.1 additional pellet hits over a calculated distance of 7 meters. This means that you have a 100% chance of killing a 2 armor operator and a 70% chance of killing a 3 armor operator over a distance of 7 meters with a single shot. This also means that vertical play with Solace is back. I honestly thought that she needed her impact grenades back after her tremendous nerfs, but with these shotgun changes, she doesn't need them. Not in my opinion anyway. All I can say is thank God Deimos didn't get this shotgun at release. In the Year 9 Season 4 designer notes, we were told that the performance and balancing of shotguns will be reviewed. Ubisoft indicated that some, if not all of the semi-automatic shotguns were difficult to control after the first shots. They have addressed the issue by making semi-automatic shotguns easier to use and more powerful. Let's look at the damage and pellet hit statistics of the following weapons. The FPI's M1014's damage has been increased from 62.2 to 68, with the average pellet hits increasing from 3 to 3.2. The SASG-12 or Sausage damage has been increased from 42.6 to 47.8, with the average pellet hits increasing from 2.7 to 3. Valken Oryx's SPAS-12 has received a decent buff, with its damage increasing from 98.5 to 106 per shot. The average pellet hits are more or less the same, with only a 0.2 recorded increase. Cav and Thunderbird SPAS-15, according to Ubisoft, is performing well, but it has also received a small buff. The SPAS-15's damage has increased from 75.4 to 79, and its average pellet hits has had a small increase from 4.9 to 5.1. Frost and Melusi's Super 90 has also received the same treatment. Damage has increased from 71 to 77 per shot on average, and the pellet hits has increased from 3.8 to 4.3. Finally, the old big dog semi-automatic shotgun, the FO12 Orella shotgun. This weapon used to be such a menace, and that is why Ubisoft nerfed it so many years ago. The increase in damage is 43.1 to 48 per shot, and the average pellet hits has increased from 2.8 to 3.1. I don't think we will see the old glory days of this weapon return, but I've also not tested it with the long barrel attachment. If you've tested it and found it fantastic at enraging the attackers, please do let me know in the comments so that I can revisit this weapon. According to Ubisoft, the only shotguns that benefited from the changes are the pump action and semi-automatic weapons. As far as we know, the Boss G, TCSG and the ACS-12, the slug type shotguns, have received no changes as of yet. I do hope that we will see a reduction in the damage range of the Boss G soon, but only time will tell if this will happen. Anyways, that is it. I've covered all I could in this video. If you have any questions or suggestions, please do let me know in the comments. Once again, if you've made it this far, please remember to leave a like and remember to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.